Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kizito and what I do is I solve coding challenges that could be asked in a technical interview. Today we are going to work on building a reverse integer function. Pretty much what this function will do is turn a number 32 into 23 instead. And if there's a negative number that says negative 50, then it will just turn it into a negative 5. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we need to do is create a function. This function is just going to be called reverse int. Alright, and then inside of the parameters we're going to give it a parameter called num, so that way the user can put in any type of number they want to reverse. Alright, now the next thing we need to do is go ahead and declare a variable, or I'm going to call this variable old num, just so it can save the old number before we have to do anything else with the number that the user has put in or typed in. Okay, now we need to create this if statement that says if the number is negative, let's turn it into a positive. So how can we do that? Well, there is a built-in module that Python has, and that is called math. So how do we add it? Well, first thing we need to do is go above the definition or the function and type in import and type math. All right, now we have the module math. Okay, now that we have the module math, we now have a function that allows us to say if this is a negative number, then change it to a positive. So let's go ahead and type in the if statement. Now I'm going to type if math, that copy sign. Now copy sign is a function that takes two parameters or two arguments. The first being the number that will be converted into a positive or negative depending on the second argument. Now, if the second argument happens to be a negative number, then the first argument will become a negative. Okay? So now that we have this, now we can say if it's equal to negative 1, then we're just going to reassign number and type number times negative 1. So now num is going to be a positive number. If the user put in a negative number, then 1 will become negative, and then we're going to compare it with this one. If it is a negative, or if 1 or negative 1 is equal to negative 1, then it'll convert number into a positive number. Okay. Now this if statement is done. Next thing we need to type is we're going to type rev, short for reverse. And now we're going to use the function called reversed. This function returns a string in reverse. Now, we need to make this number become an array. So if we have like 35, then we need to split that number into 3, 5, or make the array have like 2 elements in it. Now in Python, it's not an array, it's called list. So list, we're going to also type string or str, which turns the number into a string. Okay, next, now we need to reassign rev and convert it back to a single string again. Now how do we do that? Well, all we need to do is type in double quotes, dot notate, and type in join, and then we're going to put in rev. There we go. Now this list will become a regular string again. All right. Now we have to use the same if statement again from above here. So let's go ahead and type if math dot copy and 1, and this time instead of using number we're going to use old number. The reason why is because number was reassigned and given a positive number. Remember when I said we were going to assign old number to number? So that way it will keep the old number that the user put in. This is why. So that way we can still say that the number was negative to begin with. And then compare it with -1 again. All right. Now inside of the body of the if statement, we will type in, we will reassign again rev and then use the int method to convert rev. And then once again, reassign rev and make it equal to rev times -1. Then last but not least, outside of the body of the function, we will just return rev and, we're going to return a converted rev because from here, it's still a string. And then from here, it will remove any excess zeros that are added. If you were to type in 500 and then reverse it, it will just say 005 if it was a string. But now that it's an integer, it will just return 5. All right, looks like this function is done. So let's go ahead and double space it. In fact, let's add one more space. And then we're going to go ahead and write the callback function reverse int. We're not going to put anything inside it yet, but all right, now it said let's go ahead and copy this whole function, including the module math, and paste it in the little IDE inside the terminal. So there we go, paste. And now let's go ahead and let's put -15. I should get back -51. There we go, -51. Now let's type in -500. Well, what will it return? -5. Let's do positive numbers this time. 32 should return 23. Now let's do 50. It's 5. That's how you create a reverse int. Or this is one way of creating a reverse int. Anyways, that's it for today. Y'all have a good one.